Hello Libra, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Libra, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energies. With all that being said, Libra, let's get started. How does Libra currently view this relationship? All right, let's see, Libra. All right, so we do have the 10 of Wands, we do have the King of Pentacles, and then we also have the Emperor. Don't give up just yet. It just kind of looks like a lot of you have been feeling like your hard work and labor hasn't really been getting you absolutely anywhere. So for some of you, you might feel like the company that you work for is not really acknowledging you in the ways that they should be acknowledging you. But I am definitely getting that you will essentially be acknowledged very, very soon. So the fact that you're going from a King of Pentacles to an Emperor, that's kind of telling me that you're either going to find yourself experiencing a raise or possibly a promotion, because this basically represents a leveling up energy. So even though you might feel like your hard work and labor is not being recognized, I do feel like it will be recognized very, very soon. And this could, like I said, this could represent that you're receiving a promotion. This could definitely represent that you're receiving a raise. For those of you who have your own business, I do see your business definitely thriving and growing and evolving. I am definitely getting that. So don't give up just yet. Now, if this has everything to do with like a relationship where you feel like you're trying your hardest to keep this dynamic between the two of you intact and afloat, but you feel like this person that you're currently connecting with just doesn't see that, just doesn't appreciate that or acknowledge that, I do see, this person eventually, realizing like, wow, Libra really does try to like, make this marriage work and a relationship, work. So I do see you getting the recognition that you essentially want, whether it's from a romantic interest, or from a boss. I do see you eventually getting the reconciliation that you feel like, you deserve to essentially get. All right, how does this person currently view this relationship? Okay. All right. So we have the Tower. We do have the Six of Cups. And then we also have the Page of Pentacles. For those of you where this has a lot to do with love and very little to do with business, work, things of that nature, I do see this person definitely acknowledging that you really do try, to make this dynamic between the two of you work. I am definitely getting that this person's going to start to recognize like, man, like Libra really does try to like make this marriage work with me, make this relationship work with me. I am definitely getting that. I'm also getting that this person has been extremely hard on you. I am getting that as of lately. This person may have been extremely hard on you. But I do see this person realizing, you know what, like Libra really does try to make this marriage work. They really do try to make this relationship work. Like, let me stop being hard on them. Let me stop complaining about this. Let me stop complaining about that. Let me show them how much I appreciate them and value them. I am getting that. Now, if this has anything to do with like business, okay, I just keep getting that you're either going to receive a raise or a promotion. I'm leaning far more towards promotion, to be completely honest. I just kind of feel like somebody around you is not going to be too happy because they feel like they deserve this promotion, not you, them. So I feel like somebody around you is not going to be too happy. Okay, whoever this person is, it's definitely somebody that you're cool with. I am getting that. Not romantically involved with, but cool with. So this could be like a coworker that you're cool with, and the both of you want the same promotion, but you end up getting the promotion, they don't, causing them to essentially feel like, yo, like this is extremely unfair. I am definitely getting that. This person may congratulate you and come off as if they're happy for you, but in all actuality, they're not, because they feel like they feel like they are the ones that should be getting this promotion, not you. If this has anything to do with like you, for example, owning your own business and your business is essentially thriving and excelling, I feel like somebody around you, and it's somebody that you're close to, so it could be a friend, it could be a family member, for prime example. I just feel like this person's not going to be happy for you. It's as if they feel like they should be the one, with a successful business, not you. But this is the issue that I have, though, with this person. Regardless if this is like a coworker of yours or a friend of yours, like, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this person's not like you. Like, I feel like you're somebody who's very driven, somebody who's very ambitious, somebody who's very hardworking. This person, on the other hand, they just want things to come to them easily. Like, they don't want to do all this extra stuff. Like, they don't want to put in the hard work and the labor like you're willing to essentially do. And that's what makes the two of you so different. So this whole, I deserve that promotion, I deserve, a successful business, not Libra. I don't necessarily agree with them on that, and here's why. This person's coming across as a page. You're showing up as a King of Pentacles, and you harness Emperor energy, regardless of your gender, male or female, doesn't matter. Even if you are a female, and you're trying to excel within this company, or you're trying to excel within your own, personal business, because for some of you, you have businesses of your own. You have to harness masculine energy. You can't harness feminine energy. You have to harness masculine energy. Masculine energies are all about taking action and doing what they got to do to get to where they want to be. So you cannot harness feminine energy whatsoever when it comes down to climbing that corporate ladder, when it comes down to getting a business off the ground. And for those of you who already have a business, and you want that business to grow and evolve and thrive, you have to harness masculine energy. So you could be a female, but right now you're harnessing far more masculine energy because you're taking a lot of action towards manifesting, creating the life that you want for yourself, and things of that nature. But pages are like the children in tarot. You know what I mean? Like, they're just think of a child, right? When you see a page in tarot, these are people that are known for being codependent, for prime example. So they're used to like relying and depending on someone. They also don't like to put in the hard work and labor. You know how kids get, you know what I mean? When they're at school and something starts to become a little too hard, and they're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather, go play video games or play with my friends or be on the TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this person just is, regardless of how old they are. That's just how they are. When something starts to become too challenging and difficult, they're very quick to just give up on it, and do something that's far more fulfilling and satisfying, like playing video games, being on TikTok, things like YouTube, whatever, things like that. You, on the other hand, it's like you're different in that sense, As far as you putting all this hard work and labor towards getting that promotion, none of this is fucking fun, okay? None of this is fucking fun for you. None of this is fun, but you want what you want, damn it, and you're gonna make it happen. You see what I mean? Or when it comes down to getting that business off the ground, none of this is fun for you. It requires a lot of time, energy, and effort and labor, but you're gonna do it anyways, you know what I mean? Because you want this business to thrive and get off the ground, damn it. For those of you who already have, a business, all this hard work and labor that you're putting towards, your business to grow, evolve, expand, all of that stuff, none of this is fun. None of this is fun. You don't get a kick out of it. You don't wake up every morning like, today's the day that I get to spend all this time, putting all this hard work and labor. Yes, I can't wait. This is so exciting. Like, no, none of this is fun for you, but you do it because you got to do what you got to do, right? You know what I mean? You may not like waking up early as hell in the morning, to do what you got to do to become successful in this life, but you get up every fucking morning and you make it happen. None of this is fun. It's not fun. You don't probably like waking up at 4 a.m, but you do it anyways because you got things to do. Them, on the other hand, it's like, I gotta wake up at 4 a.m. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Yeah, that's too hard. I don't want to do that. I'd rather be on TikTok, you know what I mean, on YouTube, or watching Netflix, or hanging out with my friends. Like, you see what I mean? So it's like they just want things to come to them easily. That's it. They want to have a successful business without having to put in the work. They want to, get that promotion they've been dying to essentially get without having to essentially put in that work. You see what I mean? They just want things to come to them easily. Let's keep going. How does Libra feel? Okay. Oof. Very, 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 very nice, my friend. Very, very nice. We have the Chariots. We have the 10 of Swords. And then we also have the 10 of Pentacles. For a moment, You know, a lot of you were starting to kind of like doubt yourself. Like, damn, like, I guess I'm never going to get that promotion, no matter how hard I try. You know, I guess I'm never going to get that promotion. I guess my business is never going to get off the ground. I guess I'm never going to have a successful business. But you never gave up on the things that you essentially wanted. And because of that, you're being rewarded. Okay, so this is the universe's way of showing you to never give up on your dreams and what you want in this life. Because if you apply yourself and your discipline, at the end of the day, you're going to eventually get what it is that you want. Granted, it may not happen as fast as you want it to, but in the end, you're going to get what you want. You know what I mean? Because you're going to make sure that you do. So this is, you know, for the most part, like a moment of realization that you're having that, you know, just because you didn't get this promotion a lot sooner, or just because this business didn't take off as quickly as you wanted it to, or just because this business of yours that you have didn't grow and evolve as quickly as you wanted it to essentially grow and evolve. You know, this moment in time is causing you to essentially realize that when you don't necessarily give up, and giving up is not, you know, an option in your mind, you know, eventually one day you're going to get what it is that you essentially want. And that's exactly what I see you essentially realizing. So when you find yourself in this predicament again, where you find yourself feeling discouraged and, oh, I guess my business is never going to get off the ground. I guess I'm never going to get that promotion. You know now that giving up is just simply not an option, because if you give up, for sure, you're never going to get what it is that you want. But if you keep trying and if you keep showing up, eventually you're going to get what you want. So this moment in time is, you know, causing you to essentially realize that, you know, giving up should not be an option in your mind under any circumstances. I do feel like at some point giving up was an option that you highly considered, but because you wanted this thing so badly, like that promotion, that business, that growth, that expansion, that success, that, you know, abundance and stability, that's what kept you going. That's what kept you fighting. So you're realizing, yeah, giving up, you know, it's just simply not an option, you know, in your mind. And even though things are not happening as quickly as you want it to, eventually it's going to happen and you're going to get what it is that you want. So I just feel like you're glad that you never gave up on like your dreams and your goals and the things that you wanted to essentially accomplish and achieve, because if you did, you wouldn't find yourself where you're at now in life. So good for you. Now, if this does, by the way, have everything to do with love and very little to do with business, work, you know, things of that nature, and this has everything to do with love, you're going to start to notice a drastic change within this dynamic here between the two of you, okay? Now, this drastic change is a positive drastic change at that, okay? I feel like there was many times where you wanted to give up on them in your marriage with them, your relationship with them, but you didn't. It looks like you were experiencing some hard and challenging, you know, moments with this person, but it looks like you stuck by this person's side and tried your hardest to make the dynamic between the two of you work. Because you just kind of knew deep down inside, you know, one day things will get better between us. You know, one day, you know, we'll have a very healthy, unstable relationship. And I feel like that's what kind of kept you fighting. You know, that's what kept you going within this, you know, marriage and a relationship. Even though you had your reasons, you know, to just simply get up and walk away, you never did. And I think that you're extremely glad that you didn't, because I do see things turning around within this dynamic here between the two of you, and you're going to see that as well. So with the Queen of Pentacles to the Knight of Swords to the Ace of Swords coming out here, this could have been a problem within your marriage with this person and a relationship with this person. Not saying that it was, you know, an issue, but it could have been an issue that you were experiencing within your marriage and a relationship with this person. For me as a reader, the Ace of Swords, again, for me as a reader, can definitely represent a symbol of trust, okay? Maybe this person didn't trust you as far as they can throw you, and this could have a lot to do with their past and very little to do with you. But I am definitely getting, that this person is finally learning, you know what I mean, to trust you and put their, you know, trust and faith in you, right? In this dynamic that they share with you, which could have been a very challenging and difficult thing for this person to do, as far as putting their trust and faith in you, because of everything that they've been through prior to obviously getting involved, you know, with you, is basically what I'm gathering, okay? So if that was an issue within your marriage and a relationship with this person, that is going to become a thing of the past. Like, they're going to find themselves, you know, actually trusting you and not questioning you and your intentions towards them, or constantly thinking you're out to get them and, you know, don't have their best interests at heart, things of that nature. Now, this does have everything to do with, you know, business, for prime example, or work. With the Ace of Swords to the Knight of Swords to the Queen of Wands. Not the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles out here, okay? Here's the thing. I feel like this person wants to be in your position. Again, this could be a family member. This could be a friend. This could be a coworker. But I'm getting that this person wants to be in your position. Now, with that being said, do I think that this person's capable of manifesting and creating a successful business? Absolutely, hands down. Do I think this person is capable of climbing that corporate ladder? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hands down. I just don't feel like they want it bad enough. I think that that's kind of what it boils down to. I just don't feel like they want it bad enough. Like, when you want something bad enough, you're gonna fucking make it happen. Like, it doesn't matter what life throws in your direction, you gonna make it happen. It doesn't matter how hard it gets, you're gonna make it happen. Like, and you're a prime example of that. This journey for you has not been easy and it hasn't been fun, but you did what you had to essentially do to get to where you're at, right? And you made it freaking happen. No matter how hard or challenging or difficult it was for you, you got up, you showed up every day, and you made it happen. So with that being said, because they want to be where you're at in life, I do see them taking the necessary steps towards essentially making that happen. However, I just kind of feel like the moment they start taking the necessary steps towards starting that business, climbing that corporate ladder, whatever the case may be, the moment that it starts to become challenging and hard, we see this person, you know, doing what they typically do. Oh, this is too hard, I'm gonna go do this instead. Oh, this is too hard, I'm gonna go do that instead. I just feel like this person, how do I say this? I feel like this person tends to prioritize things that they shouldn't be prioritizing. Like, for perfect example, them sitting around watching Netflix is not going to benefit their life in any way, shape, and or form, unless Netflix is essentially paying them, you know, to watch whatever movie Netflix wants them to essentially watch, or whatever the case may be. Like, they do things that don't really benefit them. Like, you know, the example that I said, them sitting around watching Netflix, none of these things are going to benefit them in the long run. It's not going to make this person richer. It's not going to make this person more successful. It's not going to get this person where they truly want to essentially be in life. And that's kind of what Spirit has been trying to highlight to them, is that they have the potential to climb that corporate ladder and start that business and have that successful business, but they need to stop prioritizing things that just don't freaking matter, that just simply don't benefit them. You see what I mean? Or this could be even like a simple case where this person might find themselves, you know, in a relationship with someone or married to someone, and they tend to make that someone their main focus / priority, to the point where, you know, they see nothing else but that person that they're romantically involved with. Now, there's nothing wrong with prioritizing your partner, but when it starts to consume your life as much as it does, to the point where you start to lose sight of your goals and things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself, that is a huge problem. You know what I mean? And it's because they're allowing themselves to be consumed by this relationship so much, to the point where they rather focus on that person, prioritize that person, than making their dreams a reality. Like, they just tend to like indulge in things that don't really benefit them. You know, again, when it comes down to the whole them being married or in a relationship, I think that it's great that they prioritize their partner, but they also need to essentially learn that there's more to life than just their partner. You know, there's their goals, their dreams, the things that they want to essentially accomplish and achieve for themselves. Like, you see what I mean? I feel like that's kind of what Spirit has been trying to essentially bring to this person's, you know, attention all this time, is that they could have a successful business. They just need to stop, you know, spending the vast majority of their time watching Netflix, you know, and sitting on the couch, because none of these things benefit them. It doesn't. Or playing video games. Like, unless you're getting paid, different story. I can see how it benefits that person. But if playing video games all day doesn't, you know, benefit you in any way, shape, and or form, maybe, just maybe, you should stop kind of playing video games and start focusing on things that are actually going to benefit you, like going back to school, for prime example, you know, things like that. What actions will Libra take towards this person or moving forward? All right, so we have the Ten of Swords, Six of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Okay. All right. I do want to look at the Ten of Swords very, very quickly. Tell me more about the Ten of Swords. Three of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Libra, where you're going in this life, you're going to have to leave certain people behind. I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to leave certain people behind. Is basically what I'm gathering, because all I'm really seeing with you is growth and expansion. I'm getting like a massive like leveling up energy. So where you're going, you can't take some people with you is basically what I'm gathering. You just can't take some people with you. I am definitely getting that. So moving forward, I do see you starting to essentially feel lonely. So let me explain this. You're starting to feel lonely because these people that you used to hang out with and be friends with, these are not people that you resonate with anymore. Like, these are people that, you know, maybe all they want to do is party, for prime example. Well, you don't got time to party because you got things you got to do, and there's things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself. So no, you can't go out partying with this this person and or people, because you got things to do. So I do see this journey for you becoming very lonely, because you don't really have people in your life that have the same mindset as you. You have like a very ambitious mindset, which I absolutely fucking love. You're like my fucking spirit animal, I swear. But you know, you're all about growth and expansion and more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Like, that's what you're all about, right? It's more growth, more expansion, more money, more abundance, more stability, more success. More houses, more cars, more this, more that. You know, you're all about the more, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like you're friends with people who don't have that mindset. You know what I mean? Or you're probably in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have that mindset. I just kind of feel like this person that you're either romantically involved with and are friends with, because it could be family members, it could be friends, or it could be somebody that you're romantically involved with, or it could be all of those things. You just kind of find yourself, again, like feeling alone, feeling like you're surrounded by people that you can't really relate to, that you can't really resonate with, that don't really understand you and your mindset. So this journey for you, it feels hella lonely. You know what I mean? It truly does feel hella lonely. I am definitely getting that, but you could definitely change that by surrounding yourself with people who have the same mindset as you do, because there are people out there who have that same mindset as you. You just got to start, making your mission and priority to find like-minded people, that have the same mindset, as you do. But I am also essentially getting that you might have family members and friends, tell you, oh, like, you switched up and you're not how you used to be and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I am definitely getting that. Or you might even have like somebody that you're romantically involved with, you know what I mean? Tell you that, oh, you've changed and blah, 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 and it's because you have changed. It's because you have changed. It's because you have changed, but it's not that you've changed for the worse, because you didn't change for the worse. You changed for the better. While everybody else around you chose to stay the same, you decided to do something different with your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? These people might sit here and say you switched up and you're not the same and blah, 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 blah. But, everybody will give up their left kidney to be in your position. So these people that are saying, oh, you switched up and you've changed and you're not how you used to be and you don't got time for us no more, because you're too busy, blah, 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 blah. Like, they'd give up their left kidney to have the life that you have. That's one thing I will say, because King of Pentacles to the Emperor to the Ten of Pentacles, I mean, that's fucking impressive. That's very fucking impressive. That's very fucking impressive. Like, you're living the fucking good life. You know what I mean? Like, the life that you have, people will fucking give up their left kidney for it. You know what I mean? You have everything that you want and then some, but it's because you busted your ass to make sure you had that type of life to begin with. You see what I mean? So this journey for you, it's gonna feel lonely. It's gonna feel lonely, but hey, like, make it your priority to start surrounding yourself with people who have the same mindset as you do. If this has everything to do with love, you're connecting with somebody that you're not equally yoked with, okay? Yeah, you're connecting with somebody that you're not equally yoked with. Yep. You are. And I feel like that may not be an issue for you now, but it might be an issue for you later. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Ace of Cups, and then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I mean, whatever, I guess, whatever. This is like a friend, family member, coworker, whatever have you. I feel like this person's going to take 2 steps in the direction of making their dreams a reality, and they're just going to abandon it at the last minute because they rather focus on that girl over there or that guy over there. You know what I mean? Or they rather focus on watching Netflix all day. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate because I could tell. How do I explain this? It's like I can tell that this person's not entirely happy and or content with the life that they currently have. And they tend to get frustrated, like, oh my God, like, why don't I have like the car of my dreams? Like, why don't I have the house of my dreams? Like, why, why haven't I gotten this promotion just yet? Or why this? And it's because they're hyper focusing on shit that don't matter, that don't benefit them. Watching Netflix all day does not benefit them whatsoever. It just doesn't benefit them. It does not benefit them whatsoever. It doesn't benefit them. It doesn't put money in their pocket. Unless Netflix is paying you, watch TV all day. Watch Netflix all day. But if Netflix is not paying, you shouldn't be watching Netflix all day. You just shouldn't. You know what I mean? I just kind of feel like Spirit's so frustrated with this person because Spirit has been trying to get this person to see that they have so much fucking potential. If they were to just invest the amount of time they invest into that woman, into that man, into making their dreams a reality, this person will be fucking successful. They would be successful. Hands down, this person will be successful. They'll basically be at your level. They will be very, very successful. But again, it's like, instead of them doing that, it's like they rather dump their time and energy towards this man or towards this, woman, And I feel like Spirit has been trying to get this person to see that. Stop focusing on this man so much. Stop focusing on this woman so much. And start focusing on your dreams. It's like Spirit just wants this person to just try it one time. Like, just try it one time. What would happen? If the amount of time and energy you invest into that man and to that woman, if you were to invest it towards your career, your business, your education, like, let's just try it and see where life could possibly take you. Just try it one time and just see. If this person were to just try it one time, all that energy that they invest into watching Netflix, into that man, into that woman, into that friendship, if they were to just take all of that energy and invest it towards themselves, like their future, their career, their education, their business, they would get very, very far in life. Like, no joke, this person will get very, very far in life. But Spirit has been trying to get this person to see that. Like, they could make their dreams a reality. They just need to stop pouring so much time and energy towards that man or towards that woman or towards things that just simply don't benefit them. Now, if this has everything to do with love, if this has everything to do with love, okay, listen, I do believe that unfortunately you are connecting with somebody that you're not equally yoked with, and that may not be a problem for you right now, but it will be at a later date. Your mindset is very different from theirs, you're somebody who tends to think about the future because you have to, okay? So you tend to think about like, okay, like, God forbid, right? If this happens to me, if that happens to me, I gotta make sure that I'm covered here and that I'm covered there and that I'm good, if this happens, or I'm good if, that happens. Like, you tend to think about your future a lot, and the things that you need to essentially do to make sure you're good, right? To make sure you're good at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, life be lifing, right? And it would be nice, because that's how you're going to look at it. It would be nice to have a partner that you can rely and or depend on if, God forbid, you ever needed to, okay? And the reality of the situation is that you're connecting with somebody that you can't really rely or depend on like that. And again, that may not be a problem for you right now, but at a later date, that's going to be a problem because life be lifing sometimes. Life be lifing sometimes. And you might have yourself covered in every area that you could essentially think of, but there's certain things that you're just like, man, like if this happens to me, I can't really rely on this person. I can't really depend on this person. The reality of the situation is that you can't. And I think that's going to be a major problem, for you when it comes down to this person that you currently find yourself, romantically involved with. This person doesn't, how do I say this? Because I want to get this right. Do I feel like this person makes your life somewhat easier? Yes, but I also feel like they make it somewhat harder too. I do. Okay. I am definitely getting that. So the fact that you can't really rely on them in the ways that they could essentially rely on you, and on top of that, you have to deal with this person making your life harder. It just doesn't come off as like a good deal to you. It doesn't come off like a good deal to you because at the end of the day, let's just be realistic here because we can't ignore that we have these two cards out here. That's kind of telling me you do make this person's life very, very, a lot easier, for them, but you also make it a lot harder for them. But see, here's the difference, right? Is that they have more to essentially gain in being with you than the other way around. If that makes any sense. Like, in other words, you bring far more good into this person's life than bad, even though they have to deal with certain things that they don't want to deal with when it comes down to you. When it is all said and done and they look at the bigger picture, in their head, it's like, I mean, I don't like this, that, and the third about Libra, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm getting a really good deal. You know what I mean? Because I get this and 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 this. You know what I mean? But when you look at this relationship with them and you look at the bigger picture, it's like, yeah, like this person does make your life somewhat, easier, but they also make it somewhat harder. And then when you look at the bigger picture, unfortunately, the bad is starting to essentially outweigh the good here. And this doesn't look like a really good deal to you. You know what I mean? Because you don't really benefit that much like they do. Like they benefit far more than you in this marriage and relationship. That's one thing I will say. They benefit far more. They do. They definitely do. Hands down, they absolutely do. You know what I mean? So none of this appears to you as like a really, really good deal because yeah, it would have been one thing if this person never stressed you out, or never made your life more challenging and difficult. That would have been one thing. But the fact that you bring far more to this table than they do, and then you got to deal with them stressing you, and you got to deal with this, and then you got to deal with that. None of this appears to you as like a really, really good deal. It just doesn't. So I do see you, accepting the fact that this is very important to you, right? Is to have someone by your side that you could lean on, that you could depend on, if you ever needed to. Obviously, are you hoping that you never have to rely or depend on absolutely anyone but yourself and whoever it is that you believe in? Absolutely. But life be lifing sometimes. It is what it is. And you want to have someone by your side that you could lean on and depend on if you ever needed to. And currently at the moment, you just don't got that because the desire to grow, evolve, expand on their behalf, it's just not there. And it makes sense as to why it's not there because if you think about it, it's like, how do I explain this? They don't really have to go off and start a business and become the successful individual or the top dog in the company because they got you. And they reap the benefits of your hard work and labor. So in their head, they're just like, well, why am I going to make my life more complicated by trying to become the top dog when I already got the top dog in my life? And I'm benefiting on top of that. Like, why do I have to do all that? You see what I mean? But they don't stop to think that life sometimes be lifing, okay? And at any given moment, you can get up and leave this one. You could always get up and leave this one. And there goes the benefit, you know what I mean, in having someone like you, in their life. And even let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you guys are married. What they're going to end up getting in return is nothing compared to actually having you in their life. Does that make any sense? Like, it benefits them way more to continue to be married to you than to not continue to be married to you, because they might end up receiving something, but it ain't gonna be enough. You know what I mean? Because they get far more continuing to remain married to you than not. You see what I mean? So it's like, then there's that. And these are not things that I feel like this person's personally thinking about. You know what I mean? Because if in the event they ever do lose you, they're going to be greatly affected in a very, very negative way. And instead of them taking this time to do what they have to do to get to where they need to essentially be financially, they're just, hey, I'm just going to wing it. And whatever happens, happens, I guess. Whatever happens, happens again. I guess, hey, it is what it is. And if you guys are not married, shit, even worse. Even freaking worse. You know what I mean? Because once they lose you, they lose all the benefits that come with you. So there is no more living the good life anymore. All of that's going to go out the window. If this person's, married to you, y'all get divorced, I think that they're going to be okay. But as far as living the life that they live with you now, that's not going to be a thing. That's not going to be a thing. It's not going to be a thing. It's not going to be a thing. So I don't know. It's just things that they need to honestly think about themselves, because this could greatly affect them in a negative way if you ever do decide to get up and leave them, regardless if y'all are married or not. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you